I have always liked science. I think it's easier than the arts because it tells us about life. And I think it sort of what is a catalyst to all this is my daddy gave me a microscope when I was small. And I thought, it's fun to see things under the microscope. That's why I love microbiology. I didn't do NDV for my PhD. I was doing totally something different on plasmids, but nobody wanted to give me money for research in plasmids, so I went on to doing virology. NDV is just Newcastle disease virus. It's a virus that's been found to infect chickens, so it can kill a lot of chickens. So it is very, very important for the poultry industry. So this is NDV. I've just got this rambutan here, but this is, you can portray it as an NDV where the virus has got various proteins, envelope proteins outside, which are epitopes, which will elicit the antibody response. And then inside here is the genome of the virus. So I first started NDV, I went to Newcastle upon Tyne to study after my PhD in Melbourne. And what we did was we looked at the molecular, the biology of the virus. And so I focused on that for the first few years, and then I went on to look at not only making vaccines, but also looking at diagnostics, and then go on to looking at using the virus to treat cancer, human cancers. This virus is special because it doesn't really infect human cell lines, but it kills human cancer. It can really replicate a lot in human cancer cells. Well, my journey started, as I said before, from Melbourne, where I got my degree from La Trobe University. I went on and did a postdoc at the University of Newcastle upon Tyne in UK. And then I came back and I was working at University Pertanian Malaysia then, and then we have University Putra Malaysia. A lot of still arguments going on whether we should keep the name or not. But anyway, working at University Putra Malaysia, I went up the ladder, doing my research with my students. We worked as a team, and I became not only the dean of the Faculty of Biotechnology and Biological Sciences, I went to become the first lady deputy vice chancellor for Academic and International Affairs at the university. But only 2 years within that experience, I had a call from the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, calling me to work with them. The minister then, Maximus Onkili, is a friend of mine. So I suppose he wanted me to help him, and I said, okay. We're in the midst of drafting the Science Act with Dr. Aisha Pidin from UKM. She's a legal advisor of UKM. We are doing this under the National Science Research Council. So when I was at MOSTI, we had this, the National Science, Technology and Innovation Policy, and we need a body to drive the act. So far, all the other countries that we looked at, they had some form or other of some governance, but here in Malaysia we don't have that. So I think that rather than just getting bits and pieces or patchwork for science and technology, we should have an act to give a mandate to all that we are going to push science, technology, innovation forward. Because it is, we have now the launching of the National Education Blueprint. That's a very, very important landmark for our education system here in Malaysia. So what we need to do now is that we need to understand that education changes society. But education is not enough, and research will create its future. So we need to stress on research and development, and that's the future that we should go.